From the top rope to your collection, this collecting the 1, 2, 3 presented by Cardboard Dugout. I'm your host, Moon 3PO, and this is my tag team partner, Bropio, coming through with the somewhat of a preview slash prediction exalted pod. And I only say that because we don't have so much information, even though it's 2 days before release day. But of course, before we get into all that, Bropio, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Our good old tribal chief just got slammed through the announcer saber by the best in the world. So, well, now I'm doing pretty good. So, how are you doing, man?
Yes, I am doing good. Enjoyed Monday Night Raw for the first time
Yeah,
in a while. Obviously, it being at
better
MSG.
than God on SmackDown that we saw this past Friday. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
oof,
I don't
gosh,
know. Like,
rough.
man, there's like no such thing as consistency with these shows anymore. When SmackDown, we thought SmackDown was finally turning the page. We then get to a god awful SmackDown after a couple of like I would say I thought was pretty good SmackDown television. God awful episode on that. We'll talk about that just a little bit. And then this Monday Night Raw here, obviously being at MSG, they kept, I don't know how many times they kept promoting it as the most world's famous arena. I don't know how many times I heard that today and even last week as well. But being at MSG, these are some of the bigger shows. They want to bring out all the top stars, which they did do. Surprising opening segment. A lot of cool matches in between that as well. A lot of matches announced for WrestleMania. I still feel like the build has not been there for, I think, majority of these matches, but there's no denying these matches are going to be very, very good matches. So I'm very, very excited to see what happens here moving forward there with WrestleMania as we're about 2 weeks away. So I will be in WrestleMania, everybody. If you guys don't know, I will be in WrestleMania in 2 weeks. So if you guys want, the in-person vlog stuff, I was gonna do it anyways. But if you guys want to see like the in-person stuff, I will be at WWE World. Depending on Friday, I may go to House of Glory. TBD on that. I'm not too sure what my flights will be looking like on Friday. So if you just love wrestling in general, want wrestling more content, I know you guys always ask me for that stuff. It's going to be in about 2 weeks. So make sure you are subscribed and following for more. All of our links are down in the description down below. And so make sure you do follow all the social medias there. But like we mentioned here, this past Friday here was Friday Night SmackDown. Again, a god awful episode. Nothing as far as I don't. I would think my biggest complaint here, and I'm not I guess I'm gonna sound like a hater. Why is Jillian Rowe involved in 3 fucking segments? Why is he taking up
Apparently,
so
it
much
was like
time?
most. He had like the most screen time. I think like everybody on SmackDown. He had them. So I don't know.
That tells you where that episode. I thought getting rid of Road Dogg was the issue. That's obviously not the issue. Like
Obviously not. There's somebody else there that
there's something going on back there. Like who is writing this script? And like, you know what? We're gonna have Jillian Rowe involved in 3 segments, and he's gonna have the most television time. Whose bright idea was that? I
and
need
a match with Wilson on
and a match with Kate
SmackDown.
Wilson.
Yeah.
And a match with Kate
You
Wilson.
can
I'm just
honestly,
glad it's not a WrestleMania.
if this was, I would say, if it was WrestleMania, you could probably be like, oh god, it's like one of your celebrity like matches on WrestleMania. But the fact that it was like on a live like SmackDown in the middle, where was they at? Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Like,
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh.
yeah, oh no, like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't know what the
Rough.
thought process was with that. Uh Obviously, we all thought Road Dogg was the issue. Obviously it is not. So there is again someone with a pen and paper breaking down these weekly shows and it's like, you know what? We're gonna have Jelly Roll involved in 3 separate segments and gonna be, I don't want to say a vocal point in the Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton's feud, but the fact that he had to get involved in between that, I know everybody was kind of comparing it to Travis Scott last year. I think those are, completely 2 different things in my opinion. But yeah, again, that the fact that he is involved in so many segments here, that was my downfall for that whole episode. And I think I don't know what the hell happened. I think like an hour or two before SmackDown went live, like there was like a potential spoiler that got leaked. I don't know how the heck that happened. I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
see
I don't even know
anything.
either.
I didn't see anything as far as of that. So, but I'm assuming here the spoiler was Sami Zayn beating Carmelo Hayes for the United States Championship. Didn't think that was going to happen. I thought we would have had, some sort of multi-man match for the United States Championship at WrestleMania. So it looks like that is not in the picture. So after this back and forth of Sami Zayn not being involved in WrestleMania, it's going to be eventually involved at WrestleMania here against Trick Williams for the United States Championship. I put out a tweet here. I don't dislike Sami Zayn, but there's only so much more you can do of this underdog story. Like it reaches a certain point, and after that, it just gets stale and stale and stale. So the fact that we've been doing this for the last like what year and a half, 2 years, if you want to go all the way back to when he fought Gunther, like there's only so
Yeah.
much that you can really do with that storyline, and that's my whole biggest thing with Sami Zayn. I like Sami Zayn. I think he's obviously a phenomenal worker, top 5, top 10 worker right now in WWE, but I just think it's the storyline that hurts it a little bit. So I put out a tweet once he won that the only way that this is a successful handing over of the title, if he does eventually drop the title to Trick, which I do think he will. Obviously, we'll have our full prediction episode here in about a couple of weeks at this point, because like I just mentioned, we'll be at Mania, so I want to make sure I get that out as soon as possible before I leave. But yeah, that's the only way that I see this being successful. I do not see it being a positive reaction for Sami Zayn as well. I think he will be booed heavily at WrestleMania, and probably even potentially leading up to that. He's already been getting some boos already. Which I mean, it shows that I'm not the only one who's had this opinion, but don't know if you have any thought process there or any thought ideas or any sort of ideas there on the whole Sami Zayn, Trick Williams, Carmelo potentially missing WrestleMania. Hopefully that's not the case, or maybe he does get involved somehow, some way, because Trick did hit him to eventually lose the title. So maybe he does get involved in some sort of fashion. But any thoughts, any ideas here on this Sami Zayn becoming the new United States champion and Trick Williams being the next man up?
Yeah, just two things. The first one, I was like, I think like I think it was before SmackDown started. There was a whole rumbling on Twitter that um a title change had or possible title change was leaked or something like that. And but it was weird, like on Twitter, like when you would scroll through, like nobody would say what it was. Like it would just be like, oh, title change, there's title change. And it was kind of like, all right, cool, I'll stay off Twitter. But then I would go back and be like, what the hell is it? But I could never find it. Not that I was digging for it, but like just like refresh my feed, like nobody would say what it was. And then obviously there was a lot of discussion of like, oh, like X and X company don't leak W stuff, they leak WWE stuff, which is probably a discussion for probably another day because we could be here all day just probably talking about that. But yeah, I think because I for what I thought the whole open challenge thing was done for. If you go back, I think a couple of weeks ago, like Carmelo even talked to me like I'm done with the open challenge or blah blah blah, or he hinted at it. And then this week they come out like all of a sudden Carmelo's has another open challenge. I'm like, oh shit, like all right, well, another one. I think once that happened, I was like, well, they never said who it was, obviously because of the challenge. And then when Sammy came out, I was like, I even retweeted it, like probably the spoiler that we're probably gonna get. But yeah, at the end of the day, my point too is like the fact that it wasn't a clean finish. The fact that involved kind of like hit Carmelo kind of makes you feel like it's not going to be just that straight up, or at least I hope. I know there's a graphic up for Sammy and Trick for the U.S. title. Um, so I don't really know. I don't know if they can probably just edit that and put in Carmelo Ilya, because those two dudes have been pretty much carrying the damn U.S. title and the whole open challenge and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I'm done with this. It's kind of just like this. That match kind of really didn't need the U.S. title. I don't know what reason they decided to put the belt on Sammy. Um, 'Cause I think the end goal was to probably put the belt on Trick, but I don't know, honestly. But again, if I don't think this match needed. I think you had the story between Trick and Sammy, and then if you really want to go into it, the reason I think they're probably going to add Carmelo into it is because there's obviously a background story to Carmelo and Trick. If you really want to go back into their
Yeah.
NXT days, and if you don't know, or if you're new to Trick and Carmelo, like you have a history back in NXT where they at one point were pretty much like tag team partners. And then I think Trick turned on Carmelo, and then at one point it got vice versa. So I mean, there is a story between the two. So if there's a way to like kind of like bring that up, I'm all for it. But I mean, it's kind of just like kind of wait and see at this point. But I don't know. Guess we'll just have to see what they do. I don't know. Confusing, but you know, there's stories
Yeah.
there, but it's very confusing how they did it. So
Yeah, there's definitely the inner workings are there for sure. It's just you got 2 weeks to lay it out perfectly, and the way the writing creative has been going the last couple of months, so do you trust them to get there? It's to be determined. You're muted. Muted.
Sorry. If you wanted to throw in Carmelo back into this match, like you need to figure out like this Friday how to throw in Carmelo
Yeah.
into it and bring back the story of Carmelo and Trick. Like it would be this Friday, like not the Friday before WrestleMania, the night of the fucking Hall of Fame ceremony. It needs to be like this Friday. Like you need to do it now. Like, yeah, not doing this.
Yeah, there's you got no more time. Like you
Yeah.
have to do it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
literally have to do it this Friday. So yeah, time will tell how that goes. Other just key segments here, or I know real messy segments. I don't think we talked about it last week or last time we recorded. We do now have officially some of our favorite superstars on this podcast. Meechin and BFAB are now officially with Jade Cargill. They have
You're not
an
even a
alliance track.
freaking wrestler on SmackDown. God.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like,
Bad,
I don't
it's
know.
bad.
Like, I don't
It's
know
bad.
if it's the writing or if it's. I always try to give Jay the benefit of the doubt. I really do, but yeah, it's just again something is just not clicking word that, and it's no fault to Rhea at all. Like, there's only so much you can say. Like, oh, you're bigger than me. Your shoulders are bigger
I
than
think
me.
even
Like,
I think even Rhea looked fucking annoyed at one point. Like if you look at her like during the promo, like you could like she's like cutting her off at some point. Like she's talking over her, talking over
they were all
Meechin
like
and
over
BFAB.
talking each other. It was weird.
You could tell it was messy, dude. And it brought me back to Charlotte and Tiffany. Like their promos last year were messy as hell. Like who was
Yeah,
writing their stuff, dude? Like, yeah.
yeah.
Obviously, Road Dogg was not the problem. There's somebody else back there, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to the dirty doll, dude.
Oh god, I talked about that the card the live stream the other last night. I was like, yeah, I gave my
Oh
niece a
man.
package. She freaking put a Road Dog card. Timely, no, I think the week before he had just got announced that he was the partner like 2 weeks before.
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but yeah, even that segment looked messy. And then you bring up Tiffany. Like, is it a hot take that Tiffany has not looked good in her comeback since she came back since Chamber? Is that a crazy take? I'm not sold on. Again, I don't know what it is. I've always been in the camp that she needs to turn back heel,
She needs to be
but
heel. Yeah.
there's just something that's not clicking for me recently, and it's. I think it's been some chatter online. Like I think it's been like a real like consistent thing recently with like a lot of the women that are involved. Hell, not a lot of the men now too. With like a lot of these people who are coming up from NXT or at one point were in NXT or now in the main roster. Like these weren't like indie wrestlers. Not saying you have to be an indie wrestler. I'm not saying that, but like these are not people who have a strong wrestling background. They're either involved in like
Yeah.
some sort of gymnastics sport
They're like the
where they then get
NFL people.
recruited.
Yeah.
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 So they're not like this is not their like the end all be all. Like I think there's a video just came out from Tiffany. The replies are freaking ruthless, but like I think she said like by the age of 30, like she wants to be involved in Hollywood.
I just
So
see that. Yeah.
the replies
Yeah.
and the replies were like, "Girl, honey, you gotta know how to act first." I was like, "God, man!" Like people are just like absolutely ruthless. So
I'm
I
like,
don't
you
know
can't
if
go to
that,
Hollywood and just say what time it is. It's not gonna work.
yeah. So like I don't know if that's it. Like I don't know if like it's like a half-fast type thing. Maybe she's like in a spot where maybe she deserves to be in the women's world title picture. I don't know. I'm so excited for the match if it once it is confirmed. I don't think it's been confirmed yet officially for Mania. I'm
Julia,
pretty sure
I'm
Julia
pretty sure
will
it's
drop
coming.
it to Tiffy. I think it's pretty clear that that's who they want for that. But yeah, even the Tiffy and Julia match on Friday was not
Holy
very
shit!
good.
That Swanton bomb,
That
dude, that
swanton
she did?
spot, yeah,
Oh
it
my
was
god!
bad.
It was so
Yeah,
funny
it
too.
was.
Well, not funny, but like when she did it and she was like midway, like halfway through, like flipping. I was like, is she gonna like turn or something? And then the way
Yeah,
she landed, like, oh shit! Like I was like, dude, that did not look good. I think even Julia said that it did not feel good. I think she
yeah. I
said she
think she
peed
said like
herself a little
her
bit
whole
too much.
body was her whole body was
Yeah,
hurting or something like that. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that match was not good at all.
Ah,
So
yeah,
hopefully
I don't know.
again that thing could turn around. And of course on Friday we had the end all brawl between Cody and Randy. Uh, this what happened to good old fashioned brawls? Why don't they not let brawls like happen anymore? I don't get it. Like even on like this jumping ahead, but like Punk and Reigns, like that ended with they're not ended, but like obviously all the officials came out. They said back in the day they said let these dudes just duke it out. Even the women too. Like whatever
Not even
happened
that, like,
to
even when they do the brawls, like, they don't even, like, pretend to, like, hold them back, like, they'll be like, "Whoa, whoa, Whoa, and then as soon as like the wrestler comes out, they'll be like all right, I'm like whoa, 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 like they don't even like try to break them apart. So, yeah, I don't know. It's it doesn't make sense. They need
Yeah.
to portray the breaking them apart kind of bad, but good old Joey got a good old RKO in the middle of the ring. So yeah,
So they man, like whatever. I was like, yeah. So that was the no blood involved. So they man, let's get a little bit blood. Let's get a little more physical. They didn't get. I mean, obviously it was very physical, but it wasn't to an extent that we saw Randy do to Cody. Excuse me, there a couple of weeks ago, which then leads to a perfect segue to Monday Night Raw. Cody Rhodes opens up Monday Night Raw to a shocking surprise. I don't think he was even announced, or I didn't see anything here as far as of him being
I
announced
don't think
here.
he was either.
So when I
Yeah,
heard
he
the
came out
dome
of
dome, I was
nowhere.
like, oh shit. I was like, all right, like we're starting off strong. And then we get the returning Stephanie McMahon appearing here on programming, which again was very, very shocking. That's when you knew, like, all right, we got Seth involved, we got Cody involved. This is going to be shaping up for hopefully to be a very good Monday Night Raw, which it very much was. I very much enjoyed that segment. If there's anybody that knows how dangerous a Randy Orton is, a heel Randy Orton
She
is, it
knows.
is Stephanie McMahon herself. So I absolutely love that they draw back to those comparisons or draw back, to the long history between them. Uh, even having a Vince McMahon sort of drop a wink. So that was kind of crazy too. We've seen some here and there mumbles on Vince McMahon in WWE programming. Obviously, he's kind of been shafted away a little bit here, kind of getting the CB treatment, but uh got that little name calling there. So that thought that was very, very interesting. Nice little touch there. Cody Rhodes showing more of an aggressive side as well, turning away Stephanie, like kind of turning her. Obviously, before that, Steph slapped the shit out of him. Very iconic Steph slap. But then turning her really aggressively, teasing the suck it 2 words, but was the thank you, maybe kind of triggering that there is needs to tinker to that heel Cody potentially. Don't know if he's necessarily hearing the voices like Randy is, but knowing that there has to be an aggressive side, which is a nice little callback for Cody. That was obviously his fallback at John Cena last year at WrestleMania, where he didn't want to hit him with the belt. So kind of having that he still has his good man tendencies, but knowing that for this match particularly, that this may not be the Randy that who's your friend, who was your mentor, that this you have to he'll touch into something that you maybe have never touched into before. I don't know what you thought about that segment, but I thought it was a very strong way to kick off Monday Night Raw, and I very much enjoyed that segment for very much from the start.
Yeah, I mean they've been like hinting at this like aggressive Cody for God knows how long. Like if you really want to roll it back, like if you go back to Saturday Night's main event, what in January, the one that was in our town against Kevin Owens,
Mm-hmm.
like even that whole like that was it Saturday Night's main event or maybe the one after like where he DDT the belt kind of thing where there was like a no DQ thing. I don't think it was ours. It was probably the one
It was the first
before
one.
that. Anyways, yeah, that's probably what it was. Yeah, even that whole thing where like he couldn't get disqualified. Well, that was the Drew one too, which is probably after the John Cena one. But I mean that you're like what you pointed out to why he lost to John Cena because he didn't want to like use the belt on him, blah blah blah. But then like a couple months later, he used it on Drew and stuff like that. So that's kind of like that whole like yin and yang when it comes to like the Cody Rhodes character. Like people want him heel, they don't, and blah blah blah. But yeah, pretty much this second promo kind of just Steph is like telling him like, hey, like you need to be more on the aggressive side because Randy's not going to stop at it. Like he will go the length to get what he wants, which is obviously the undisputed WWE title. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the match, honestly, dude. I think this added a bit. I was shocked to hear that, like you said, I was surprised to see Cody there. It usually irks me. I'm not gonna lie, like to see like Raw promos on SmackDown and SmackDown promos on Raw. Like I'm just kind of like, dude, you have like other superstars that you can showcase on this time and blah blah blah. But this one was not too long. It was perfectly done, honestly, in my opinion, and it built to the story. So I'm all for it. But yeah, I mean, see where this goes. Let's see. Obviously, they're probably going to see what happens on Friday, but yeah. But it makes sense. I mean, they're in MSG, so MSG they always advertise it as obviously say like the world's famous arena and all that other good stuff. So they like to bring out all the big stars and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it was a unexpected good promo if you want to put it at that. So
Yeah, I agree 100%. I was like, yeah, I was like a good strong way. I was like, oh fuck, they put out Stephanie McMahon for this one. I was like, all right, it's like as we know, there's some big things here that are planned for this. Obviously throughout the card, had some very solid matches here. Obviously, Penta versus Kofi, that was a very solid match as well. We have new tag team champions, that being Logan Paul and Austin Theory. The Usos getting Def Rebel.
Jeff Rebel. Oh
That theme
God.
song is absolutely terrible. that,
For the longest time, ever since they started like teaming up again, I always questioned why they were suddenly coming out to just Jay's song. It had like Usos in the back, like their theme, their graphic was the Usos. And I'm like, why can't you just go back to the OG original one? Like, what's so hard about that? And then they come out with this awful death. I was like, Jesus. I'm like, they're
it's just
losing.
us
I was like, as soon as I heard that
Usos.
song, I was like, I'm losing. They're losing, dude.
Yeah, so
God.
they got Def Rebel there. Of course, with the assistance of Ice Show Speed, who seems to be still be cursed by Danhausen, which I believe the curse is that he's involved with the Vision now. Maybe it is setting up. I know that I think I saw the
Against
potential
LA
to set
Knight.
up their LA Knight. So who the hell knows?
Jeez.
So the Danhausen curse is still in full effect. I think there's an account that's putting out like how many like wins and losses he's at. So somebody put like Danhausen's 6-0 in curses. So the Danhausen curse still lives on. So time will tell. I think the Vision, even though not the more we've talked about how that faction has been doomed from the start with all the injuries and stuff like that. But nice little win for them. I think they needed that if you want to bring some sort of credibility back to Austin Theory and to Logan Paul. So very, very nice win there. Speaking of, with Paul Heyman and the Vision, all that, we do get the involvement of Brock Lesnar, Obafemi. Don't get physical, but they do come face to face. Again, don't know why the hell they don't have these open brawls anymore. It makes no damn sense. Would have loved to seen Obafemi and Brock Lesnar throw it at it here one more time, but of course you got 2 weeks to do that, so maybe that's where they're just trying to drag it on as much as possible. Don't know what Brock's schedule looks like after this, so maybe that's another thing. Who knows? I would hope he's at the Mania before Raw. I would hope so, but time will tell with that. We do get, again, sticking here with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman there and Seth Rollins have another segment, which then gets randomly interfered with Gunther. Very weird. I know, again, the rumor all along today was that Braun Breaker was cleared from his injury that he suffered a couple of months ago. So I know when the whole crowd was going crazy, all right, here comes Braun Breaker going to go and spear him as Seth Rollins comes in for the stomp. But nope, gets interrupted by Gunther. Very, very random. They are still keeping up with the career killer because Michael Cole did name drop that. So it's not something that's gone away. I know some people were a little bit worrisome that Gunther has had nothing planned for Mania. I know we hinted about it last pod. I think the rumor was going to be Gunther and Ray.
I think he was yeah, I was about to say I think he was supposed to fight Ray, and I think he got hurt. I think that threw everything into a damn whirlwind. So I don't think that helps because I think he's been off team for like 3 weeks or probably already.
Yeah, like about a month,
more or less.
Month and some change. Yeah, about a month and some change, I think, or about to be about a month. So, very random, very good match. Obviously it's going to be a very, very good match. I'm excited for it. But yeah, very random. And I think I again hinted by, I think maybe the last part about 2 weeks ago. I think Rollins is like in a weird, like interesting position right now, where like his two like biggest enemies are fighting for the world heavyweight title that he technically never lost because of an injury, but he's involved in this Vision thing, and Braun, the guy that technically took him out, is also out. So it kind of delays that moving forward. So I think he's in a weird, interesting spot. Like, where do you go with him? So who knows how long this Gunther thing is going to go? If it's a one-off, I don't think Gunther is going to be any aligned with the Vision. I want him to stay away from that. Don't think he needs Paul Heyman as well. He's a good talker by himself, so I don't think he needs that. I don't think he needs the Paul Heyman rub. But yeah, very random. Again, I'm excited for it though. Don't know if you have any thoughts there on Gunther being involved in this, and now officially being announced here that Seth Rollins will be facing Gunther. I believe it's going to be night 1. I've been trying to play it by the graphics. I think like the daytime. Yeah, I think the daytime, like, what's that movie called? Like, what's that movie called? Something Fury. What's it called? Fuck. Rodeo Fury. I was gonna say Festival Fury about the Cactus Jack insert. something Fury.
I don't know.
I don't know what I'm trying to fucking say. But basically the light orange one is day 1 or night 1. and then the neon blue is night 2.
Mm.
And I think Triple H just put out a graphic that it looks like it's in the not looks like it is
Yeah.
in the orangey color there. So it looks like it is scheduled potentially for night 1. Don't know if you have any thoughts there on Gunther and Seth Rollins being officially announced there for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, as much as how random it is, I don't want to like just shit on it completely. Like I know they, like I said, they still have 2 weeks to kind of build on this. So if I mean if we go the next 2 weeks and don't like acknowledge like anything about them, then I'm kind of like, all right, what the hell is this for? But if they go like next Monday or maybe this Friday, if they give us the context of why Gunther's doing this to Seth or vice versa, well, actually, it would have to be Gunther. We need to know why Gunther decided to
Yeah.
attack Rollins in the first, so stuff like that. So it would need to become from Gunther. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna wait to see if we see anything from that before I decide to completely shit on this creatively or storyline wise. So I'll keep my eyes open just because I know like if we want to like backtrack a little bit to a couple weeks ago, like we were all like questioning like when EO came out to help out Stephanie Vaquer during the Raquel match, we're like, oh, they completely abandoned, EO and Asuka and some other stuff. Like we obviously saw what happened today. Like Asuka and Kyrie came out during their match, and obviously it's reigniting the whole. Actually, I think probably getting EO and Asuka at WrestleMania, which God, I thought EO almost died there for a second after that
Yeah.
dive. So I hope she's all right for God's sakes. But yeah, so I think that's what I'm kind of just saying. Like, I think I'm just gonna kind of just wait and see. Hopefully, maybe next week we'll get a little bit more of a backstory as to why Gunther decided to do this. So, but other than that, I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll put on a good banger match. So, which obviously means that's all cleared. I think that was the question we've been wondering for this whole time: is he cleared? Blah blah blah. Which I think what is this like? This is like what the third WrestleMania already. The pattern that he tends to get hurt. Like we're always just kind of like
Yeah.
waiting for him to get cleared. It's kind of just So I don't know. I'll see what happens next week. See if we get a little bit more of a story of this why Gunther did this. But
Yeah. I again agree with you 100%. Not necessarily not disobeying it or like kind of just putting it in the back burner, kind of like questioning everything here. Again, you have 2 weeks to hopefully build on this. So hopefully they do that. And kind of build to this story. Again, going to be a great match here. So hopefully they can add on to that with a good little storytelling, which seems to be asking a lot sometimes these days. Some other key moments here. Other matches that were announced here. We do got a fatal 4-way women's tag team match here. We got Charlotte and Alexa. We then got the what is Lash and Nia's tag? I'm blanking on the names.
the irresistible force.
Irresistible Forces. That being of Nia Jax.
I'm
and
like, who
Lash
the hell do
Legend.
they think they are? Under the Giant?
Which the way the lack of bumps that Nia's been taking, she fucking be acting like Under the Giant these days. Jesus Christ. We then got Bailey and Lyra, and then we got the Bella Twins here. I thought I'm surprised this got announced. I thought Nikki was hurt. From what we saw in that other god awful match we saw on SmackDown.
Oh God, I was gonna talk about this. Like, dude, that was probably the worst match I've ever seen in my whole life, dude. That was so bad on Friday between the Bellas and was it Bella? The Bellas and Alexa and Charlotte. I even tweeted it out. I was like, dude, that match was so bad. They made Alexa and Charlotte look like bad. Like they were like the whole match was like so slow. Like if you watch, like you can tell when they're gonna hit their spots. Like it just looks so awkward. And I usually hate to like say like, oh, this is like so bad because if you put me in there, I'm probably gonna be just as slow or worse as slow. But my God, that looked so bad. Oh man,
Yeah,
did not help.
and I think there was even a picture today too of like Nikki in a boot. So I'm surprised this match got announced. Maybe it's not like a serious
Well, I think
thing.
from what they said on when I saw on the internet that she just sprained her ankle, that apparently it can get clear like within 7 to 10 days. So I don't know. So which makes sense probably why they. I mean, I don't know. Did she get physical today? I don't remember
I don't think
getting
so.
beat up.
I
Or
don't think
did she get knocked out
that
quick?
much. Yeah, it was something really quick, so nothing too crazy as far as that. And it's a tag team match, so you can kind of protect her in a sense if it's nothing like if it is a little bit longer or something more serious than it should be. But yeah, I'm surprised this match got announced here when I saw that. And yeah, that was another god awful. I try to usually give the Bella Twins the benefit of the doubt. I've always expressed I've never been the biggest fan of them. Never hated them to an extent that some people do.
That was rough.
But yeah, that one was a Yeah, if you're a Bella Twins fan or enjoyer, which there are a lot of them online for X amount of reasons, but yeah, that one's a that one's a hard one to defend. Even I was like, yeah, that was pretty god awful there. Um, Sticking
Oof.
with multi-man or multi-women matches here, multi-man IC men's ladder match was announced here. Pretty random opponents, but it's gonna be a banger of a match of just the talent that's involved. We have Dragon Lee, Javon Evans, who, if you don't watch it on the VPN, he was kind of promo how excited he was to be going to
Oh,
WrestleMania. We got Rusev, JD McDonough, and then Penta are going to be involved in IC. All involved in this men's IC men's ladder match, which I am very, very excited for. I used to always love the multi-man match. Again, a lot of story involved in these matches necessarily, but just like the whole talent involved, you're gonna have some crazy spots. All the talent's gonna be involved. It's gonna be a phenomenal match here, and you get talent that you may not see on a regular basis be involved. Like, I know we get to see JD McDonough with the Judgment Day, but when's the last time he's been involved in a match like this? Rusev, who's been, kind of hasn't really done anything since he's came back to WWE. Dragon Lee, I know since his pairing with AJ Styles has ended, has obviously had some really good matches, but him being involved in a match, obviously we just highlighted Javon Evans, who's been, kind of floated around with this Americano type thing. So the fact that he gets to be highlighted in a ladder match here, which I'm pretty sure he's due for some sort of crazy spot here. And obviously Penta being Penta. I would, me being the selfish bastard, I hope that's my night. But it looks like it is in the blue highlight here, so I think it is set up for night 2. So a little bit disappointed in that, but yeah, that match is absolutely going to be a very early show stealer.
yeah. I mean, when you talk about these ladder matches at WrestleMania, I automatically think it's like the beginning, like Money, like the Bank was concepted at WrestleMania with these multi-man ladder matches, and it was always filled with like a lot of like mid-carders that were like at that tier where like, hey, they can be these top superstars. All they need with this briefcase. And if you think about it, like what I don't remember what WrestleMania was, but like Zack Ryder, aka Macedonia, he won the Intercontinental title in a multi-man ladder match. And the same thing for Daniel Bryan. Like, he won the Intercontinental title in a multi-man ladder match. So I don't know. When you think about the Intercontinental title and I think about the United States title, both men and women, I think of like a lot of like just I like random ass matches like this where it's just a bunch of like just dogs and stuff like that where they can just duke it out. So yeah, I'm excited for it. A lot of these guys take crazy bumps. If you want to talk about it, like Javon's very athletic. JD McDonough takes a lot of crazy bumps. If you want to go back to like the War Game when he took KO off the top of the cage, like he's in there. Same thing for Dragon Lee. I know we were talking about Dragon Lee a couple weeks ago too, where I was excited to see a lot more Dragon Lee on my TV, and like he's a very athletic guy. Penta, we all know what he does. Rusev is kind of like the dark horse. He's a big, like physical brute guy. Can get real physical. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how he fits in with these guys. Because a lot of these guys are very athletic. They're fast pacing. So he's like the really kind of like dark horse. But I think the last time we saw him, he got beat up by Obafemi. So yeah, I'm excited for it. It's gonna be I think it should be a pretty good match. It's just like a perfect match to like start off the night, honestly. Like to kick off. I think if whether it's night 1 or night 2, like it's a good way to get the crowd going, energetic, get everybody on their feet, excited. Like which obviously we haven't talked about it yet, but John Cena automatically just got announced as the host of WrestleMania. I was like, dude, you just retired and now you're back on our TV 4 months later. Which I saw reports that apparently it was done to like boost sales or stuff like that. So I mean, I don't know. It's but yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be a pretty good match. I'm excited for it to be a good fast paced action pack match, as we like to call it. So
yeah, I messaged Mrs. Boo. Like, was able to see John Cena one more time. I thought he was long gone from my television and in person appearances here. So yes, he is officially hosting. I did see the same report here that I think that like obviously ticket sales have been very, very low for. There's a lot of things you can pinpoint to that. But yeah, it's like, all right, I guess I was laughing because they're saying like Triple H's ego got shut down, that he had to call back John Cena to come back and come do a hosting. I got to do a hosting night, and then I think I saw another thing here was like I don't know what the context of the meme was. But when John Cena walks through catering and sees the guy, he retires sitting there in catering. But obviously, not gonna happen anymore. He's involved with Seth Rollins. But yeah, I was like, okay, we could see John Cena here one more time, so that's gonna be pretty cool. Whatever those hosts are always so like up in the air. Some are good, some are bad. Obviously, they're always the one that everybody pinpoints to is The Rock, and that during that time. There's some hosts that just do absolutely nothing. Like the New Day didn't do absolutely when they hosted. I forgot what many of that was, except for announcing the Hardy Boys. So I mean, that was pretty cool. But
that was 30. Damn, I don't remember. It was 30 something. 30 to 33, 34.
I was like 33, 34.
I don't know.
Something along those lines.
This match is now a fatal 4-way. I just watched that match the other day too. So I can't remember what WrestleMania it is. I think it's when it's in Orlando.
Yeah, I think it's 33. I think I could be wrong, but
no, I got to look it up.
Yeah, so who knows what he will be doing there. Other match here that's been confirmed. We briefly mentioned here the Judgment Day here. We got Finn Balor versus Dirty Dom. Obviously, Dirty Dom still with no IC title, so this will just be a straight up singles match here. Hopefully, maybe the return of Demon Finn Balor. I think that would be kind of cool to kind of get back to that persona a little bit. I know that's been a very, very long term build there that we've been teasing a Finn Balor out of the Judgment Day and Judgment Day implosion for at least 2.5 years now at this point. Nothing really too much right home about that match. Again, I think going to be a great match. Not dogging it here. And it's like again, there are in the blue highlights and potentially a night 2 match. But yeah, excited for that one as well. But yeah, I think that was majority of Monday Night Raw. Obviously, the main event here, CM Punk and Roman Reigns. I was really, really hoping we do not have another promo for these two. I think there's only so much you can say at this point now between them two. So the fact that they got physical was great. Obviously, last week I had Roman Reigns putting CM Punk to the table. Obviously, this week here being vice versa. Don't know what Roman Reigns weeks looks like after this. I would think maybe he's gone next week, and then he obviously being the Monday Night Raw before Mania. I would think that's probably the goal for that. Maybe if you want to have CM Punk get involved with the Usos next week, do that again. You obviously can do that. Obviously make fun of him for getting pinned by Logan Paul again, so you can obviously go and pinpoint to that. But yeah, overall, again, I think a very, very good Monday Night Raw. It's been very hard to say that, but yeah, I think overall really, really solid. I don't know if you have any final key takeaways from Monday Night Raw. Don't know if I missed anything as far as of that, but yeah, overall, really good Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I just confirmed that WrestleMania 33 was the one the Hardy Boys returned and New Day hosted. So thumbs up for that. One thing we missed was pretty much the Liv Morgan promo where she called out Stephanie.
Oh yeah, she called her mom a whore.
Liv brought out some Espanol in her promo, which we obviously saw the return of Roxanne Perez, which I'm kind of intrigued by because if you really go back, like Benzo brought Roxanne in. If you really want to go back, like Liv didn't want, or not what they didn't want, but was always skeptical of Roxanne in the Judgment Day. And then even when like Liv came back, she kind of like we're kind of like teetering like, oh shit, like Liv's back, like she gonna like kick Roxy out and blah blah blah. Obviously, Roxy like kind of like took over as she took her tag team title and paired up with Raquel. So there's obviously a story there. So I'm intrigued to see where they go with this. Like I'm intrigued at the part that Finn is the one who kind of brought Roxanne into the Judgment Day. Now that Finn's gone, she's kind of like the odd man out. So I'm intrigued by that. Kind of interested to see how that goes. I know obviously not our WrestleMania prediction pod, but I don't know. I know a lot of people are kind of like leaning towards Liv, but I'm kind of leaving on the Stephanie McCare side just because there's that Roxy Raquel factor. Like there's a lot of like I don't think if you don't put the title on Liv, like there's a whole story that you can do between those three girls, and you can like expand on the destruction of the Judgment Day if you want to call it at that. So yeah, I don't know. There's a couple more weeks to think about it, but right now I think I'm kind of leaning towards Stephanie because yeah, I think there's more to it than just getting the title to Liv and see where that goes. But obviously we'll probably talk about that within probably 2 weeks, probably maybe more or less.
Yeah, give or take less than 2 weeks. I think it's like 19-ish days. So no, actually it is greater than 2 days or 2 weeks. Well, WrestleMania is like 19 days. So yeah, we'll be doing our prediction.
I think we got Stand and Deliver this Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. Which I know we don't do a lot of NXT coverage, but I think Stand and Deliver is this Saturday, right? Or is it next Saturday? Is it April 4th?
Is it next Saturday?
Or am I tripping? Yeah, look
NXT.
this up now. Just look it up.
Oh yeah, April 4th.
Yeah, it's this upcoming Saturday then.
What time's it at? We should probably get together for that.
It's probably at 6, probably more or less 6 or 7, probably.
I wouldn't mind getting together for that. Kendall Gray,
Yeah,
NXT Women's Champ. Kendall Graps, as they always like to say.
Kendall Graps.
Which, hey, before, you gotta tell your dog Andrade, man. Not don't disrespecting Kendall Graps, man. Acting like he doesn't know who that is.
He's a who? I'm like, bro.
I put on the tweet there, man. You can't disrespect Kendall Graps there. Yeah, I know.
Dude, that's move. I fucking love that move. I love when Andrade does it. Like, I don't understand the physics of that damn move. I don't understand how they like do the kick and then just automatically just spin. Like, my brain for some reason cannot comprehend that move. And then when Andrade does it, it always looks so clean. And then when I saw Kendall do it, I was like, oh my god,
dude, hers looks fucking fierce. Like, obviously Andrade looks like
Andrade's Andrade's crazy.
Yeah.
And also it depends on who's taking the move. Like the way they sell it, like, holy moly.
Shout out Laney Reed. She sells the fuck out of it. Like I was on my live stream last night. I was praising Laney Reed. Shout out to her. She's looked phenomenal in the ring. I think obviously it takes two to tango in these type of matches, and any sort of match, it takes two to tango. So the fact that, you know, both of them are so young in this, you know, quote unquote,
I know it's
business.
crazy to like put them in this sphere, but they're Kendall and Elena are entering that like Carlo Ilya sphere where like they just mesh so well together. Where
I agree.
They wrestle for the
agree.
next, yeah.
No, I agree.
They're really good.
Everybody involved in Fatal Influence, JC, Kendall, Ren, like all of them involved. Like there should be like once they go to the main roster, I just hope like they just like we hear it all the time, like wrestle forever. Like those are like their wrestling soulmates. Like I just hope, you know, they again, yeah. I just hope WWE does not fumble them. Obviously, we're coming, you know, post WrestleMania. After that, you know, we usually have our call ups. I think it's a little bit too early for Kendall Gray and Ren Sinclair. Obviously, I think Fatal Influence is due for that. That's why I'm thinking this is probably going to be it for JC Jane SN Deliver. Hopefully, Kendall does win tomorrow. I'm recording this on Monday night, so this episode might be out Wednesday morning, Tuesday afternoon, depending on how fast we're able to edit it. But yeah, just to quickly extend to talk about that. So yeah, I was really excited for you. I was talking about Kendall Gray, which still does not have any confirmed cards for Exalted, which we'll slowly get into that. Hopefully, Topps Chrome. I think it's probably be a little bit too early for Laney Reed to be in Topps Chrome. I think potentially, I don't know, the way Topps was able to configure the set and able to get these out before Mania, who the hell freaking knows? But yeah, time will tell with all of that. But yeah, again, overall, really solid Monday Night Raw. Hopefully they can keep up with that on Friday, and hopefully we can get to what feels like now we're eventually now getting to WrestleMania and getting to that build. I know I briefly just said that, you know, the builds haven't really been there, but you got 2 weeks to kind of add on to those builds. So time will tell with all those feuds going and all the new confirmed matches for WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2. But like you can tell by the title of the episode, and like you can tell at the beginning of the intro, this week here, it's Topps Exalted. Not really much to talk about as far as the checklist. I really wish I was able to confirm everything here as far as the official checklist. By the time it's recording, we're recording this Monday night, 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. So depending on when you're listening to this, knowing our freaking luck, because Topps always likes to, I feel like Topps knows when we record and I upload things, because they usually like to announce things after we record. But there is just no way that we weren't going to record an episode and just wait for them. And obviously Tuesdays could be a little bit busy. So I was like, let's just record today. Let's just talk about what we know. We kind of have a general idea of who's in this set because of Breakers have posted this set over on Fanatics Live. If you guys tuned into I didn't make like an official announcement on the podcast, but obviously you guys follow my social medias. Did announce here I was going to be introducing live streaming. So I did do a live stream Sunday night, and there was a breaker by the Juice man over on Whatnot that opened about 40 boxes. And we were just watching them live over on the stream and reacting to them here. So we have a general idea of what and who is in this set. We do have a couple of top rate articles that we can obviously go over as far as of like parallel structure, what to expect. So we'll dive all into it. And then, of course, at the end, we'll obviously, again, going to be a little bit tough to kind of talk about who we're buying, who we're not buying, who we're selling, things like that, who we're keeping an eye on. But at the end of our whole recap here review, we'll kind of do our own like little the overall thoughts here on the product. So, Topps Exalted is scheduled to hit your hobby stores. It is hobby only. If you're again, I know I have a lot of new listeners and followers over on these platforms here. It is only hobby only, so you can only get these at hobby shops or online. So if you go to Target, Walmart, wherever, it's not going to be like Universal. To keep that in mind, I had a comment about that earlier over on TikTok. So it's not like Universe. As far as of base configuration here, so it is going to be 5 packs. Not 5 packs. 1 pack, 5 cards per pack, per box. So you're only getting 5 cards per pack, and it's only going to be 1 pack in that box. So it's, again, nothing like Universe. If you're looking for how many how many boxes are in a case, it is only 10 boxes a case. So do a little math here. 50 cards are going to be in a case. So again, very, very tough if you're looking to, potentially hit big on a spot. It's going to be very, very tough if you are looking to accomplish that. Each hobby box is going to contain 1 base card, 1 numbered base parallel. We'll go over those here in a little bit. And you are guaranteed 2 autographs and 1 relic. These boxes did drop today over on the Topps website, or will be dropping on the Topps website Wednesday at $220. Retailers like Steel City, Dave and Adams, guys like that, they were selling these boxes for anywhere up from like, I think I saw anywhere from like 280 to like 360. So again, little rich if you're looking for that information. Now, if you're looking for base parallels, so these are all your base card parallels. So you have your base aquas, those are numbered to 150. You have your base greens that are numbered to 75. Your base blue that are numbered to 50. Base white numbered to 25. I don't know how that's going to work because your base card's already white. So I don't know how that's going to look. I haven't seen one hit the market recently. So that's going to be kind of interesting. Base purple numbered out of 10. Your reds are going to be out of 5. And your blacks are going to be numbered they're going to be 1 of 1. So no golds or anything like that. So very interesting on the parallel structure. Not your typical Topps parallel structure. I know Universe is kind of its own subsequent set, like, how like Ghost Zone and things like that. But like usually golds are out of 50s. In this case, they're blues. One thing they did keep consistent was reds. Those are 5s. Typically, your blacks are out of 10. That's now your purple. So very interesting there. Another key thing here I want to take away from this Topps article, first day issue is also listed on here. So base first day issue are numbered to 18, and base first day issue golds are numbered to 3. So that's interesting and important to highlight because if you guys are not aware, the first day issue was in Topps Chrome or has hit Topps Chrome. That's its own box, its own separate thing. That obviously was not done for Topps Exalted, so I don't know how that's going to go. We saw a lot of autographs and pictures of those base first day issue autographs. So I don't know how that's going to look like. We'll learn more as we go, and obviously, again, there is no odds here. So I really can't guarantee anything here. And Topps has yet to announce anything on that. So it's something to keep an eye out there as you're heading into breaks or going to be buying your own box there. Like we just talked about here, Exalted autographs here are going to be in this set. There's your normal base autograph. It's just called Exalted autographs. You then have an Exalted black and white signatures. Those look really, really sick from the breaks that I saw and from the pictures that we've seen on eBay. I think those are more of the standout-ish cards. We then have the relic, or what do they call these? There's not even a damn thing for these. And the Signa ink is what they're called here. Those are like the home field medallions, as I always like to call them here. It's basically just like a home plate with the wrestler's signature on there. Relics again are coming to this set. We have normal base Exalted cards, which they did preview Penta. We have rivaled relics, which those are numbered again, where it kind of gets a little bit confusing if you're new. Like I just mentioned, aquas were numbered to 150. That's not going to be the case here for your relic cards. Aquas are numbered to 99, greens to 50, blues to 25, reds to 5, and your blacks are your 1 of 1. So you had your rivaled relics. We then got tag team relics, same parallel structure. Also get confirmation here that there is going to be quad relics. So quad relics are going to be in this set. Some of their famous tag teams that we saw, the Wyatt Six have a quad relic. There are some superstars. Again, when we cover the checklist, I do have some that we've seen based on breaks are going to have their own quad relic. So we do want to keep that in mind if you are buying into breaks. And obviously, we'll cover that here in a short couple of minutes here. The last time is now relics are also going to be here in the set. So if you guys are not familiar, those are the John Cena base relics. Those were also in the John Cena collection. So going to be curious to see how that goes moving forward. Also, important things to know here in this top fifth article is that it does say here this is 100 base card set. That is not the case. I have had that confirmed by multiple breakers. This is not a 100 card base set. It is greater than that, and you can go tell by the breaks there are greater than 100 spots. So something to keep an eye out there. I don't know. Maybe that's why we don't have a checklist. I really don't know. Yeah, it's just very, very weird on that. So just do want to keep that in mind here as you head into breaks. Before we get into the the breakdown here of who's in here, cards to look out for, any thoughts here or any preview that you have just on the base parallel structure, hobby configuration, case configuration, any thoughts on Topps Exalted when it comes to that format?
Uh, yeah, I mean, just off the back, like this is meant to be like a real premium set. Like it's one pack, 5 cards, uh, 10 boxes per case. So it's 50 cards when you're doing, a whole break. So this is one of those breaks where to me it's just kind of just like, don't give into the FOMO kind of thing where it's kind of hard to, obviously everybody has like the wrestler that they like to collect such forth, but yeah, it's just one of those where it's just like advice to probably just be careful with the breaks that you do and stuff like that might be hard to come by and stuff like that. Obviously, as singles are hitting eBay and stuff like that. Like I think it was what Saturday night that we noticed that singles were starting to hit and breaks and stuff like that. I mean, that's like 4 to 5 days prior to the street release date. So to me, obviously, this has probably also been sitting somewhere like just ready to ship out. That Exalted was just like already prepackaged that people were getting them 4 to 5 days earlier than the expected release date. Which obviously with Topps, obviously when you do your pre-orders, like you usually can get them like a day or two before. To get them like 4 days before, it's kind of crazy. Like people were getting them like on Friday night, Saturday. And it's projected for a Wednesday release. So that's pretty crazy. Also a lot of the thing too, like when I was looking at like photo renders and stuff like that, like it also looks outdated. And there are some wrestlers that are no longer with WWE, kind of the same thing we went through with Universe, that they're no longer there. There are some Dakota Kai, Gigi Dolan sightings in this product. Same thing with like photo renders. Like if you go look at Sol Ruka's photo, like it's very outdated. It's not the Sol Ruka that we see on NXT today. It's a little bit more of her surfer gimmick where she was wearing like the tie dye and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Julia is also listed as an NXT wrestler. I think Julia's probably been on the main roster for like probably like a year now. So there is a little bit of outdated with this set too. So yeah, I mean, there's names that we're going to talk about. I think one of them probably is obviously Blake Monroe, that she is confirmed by some I don't know if eBay or if there was a card posted on the Facebook group or on Twitter. But there is a base card sighting. She is listed on some British checklists. So she is in the set. So you can kind of more or less guess where the set was kind of made. When did Blake come out? I know it was last year, but like what time frame was it? Was it like the middle of the summer, like right before the summer? Maybe a
I
year
think it was
ago?
like May.
It's like April, May?
Let's
Yeah, so about a year
I
ago.
think it was like May. Let's find out. Let's confirm. I think it was like May 25. I think it says June. What is it?
I wonder if she's short printed in this set. Makes me wonder.
Well, she only has base cards, so she has no autos, has no
Yeah,
inserts, obviously no relics. Um,
yeah,
so yeah, June 3rd is when she made her official debut of 2025. So she's been going to be approaching
okay.
a year in
Yeah.
about 3-ish months. So yeah, was very, very surprised that she was confirmed here. No, she hasn't been confirmed by Topps, but was released here because I had somebody was making a checklist and somebody on a break last night over on Whatnot pulled one of her base cards. So Blake Monroe has been confirmed. for Topps Exalted, which I was a very much a shock to me, would have thought Topps would have saved her for Topps Chrome, which she has been confirmed, and she will have autographs in Topps Chrome as part of the future star line. So that has officially been confirmed by Topps, or that we saw her signing. She puts the picture of it on her Instagram story. So yeah, Blake Monroe again, it is officially confirmed for Topps Exalted. But again, be careful. She's not no autographs, no relics. But if you quote unquote want her face, her first base non-Topps Now card, this is going to be the product for you. So if you care about that stuff, this is something that potentially that you want to keep an eye out for here, moving forward. So yes, and like we mentioned here, there is no official checklist here. So kind of just going based off here what we're seeing as far as the breakers and stuff like that, kind of going between like multiple channels. So yeah, like you mentioned here, obviously having some very much outdated names: Gigi Dolan, Jasmine Nix, Carlito, Ava is still in here. Kind of just again going through some of the breaker channels here. Eve has a random ass autos here. Don't know where the hell that came from. Obviously, there are some legends involved in this set as well. Tommaso Ciampa, and he just left the company about a couple of months ago. Still has base cards in here and autographs and tag team rights as well. Who else is in here? Like when did Rusev come back? After Mania, right? Because he's in here.
I think so.
Shayna,
Yeah.
right after Mania.
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler is in this set. Kind of going through it here. Wesley is still in here. Let's take a look here. Who else is on? Andrade is still in here. He's been released by the company like 3 different times. Kind of going through it here. Brinley Reese. Take a look here. Kind of going through it here. Cora Jade. Let's take a look here. Moving forward. Yeah, I think those are some of the bigger names here that have been or no longer with the company. I said Jasmine Nix already. Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, no longer with the company. Let's take a look here. Moving forward. So I think that's majority of everybody here. I don't know how the hell they still have no dog cards in here. That's absolutely freaking insane.
Yeah, it's rough. On a positive note, we got returning autos for Ricky Sainz, Julia, Panta. So for all you people who were chasing them down in Cactus Jack, back. So
yes. We do also have the first official WWE autographs of Rey Fenix. So if you do like the Lucha Brothers, or like Rey Fenix a little bit more than Penta, which I don't think a lot of people say, but still Rey Fenix is a very good household name. His official debut autographs are in this set as well. I'm pretty sure he will be in Topps Chrome. But again, if you're into the first ever cards that he signed there as a WWE superstar, is going to be an Exalted, and the image that they use, I think he's on the black and white. Is where I saw it. So that looks,
there's actually one listed on eBay right now, $400. So
like $400, right? I was just watching it just for shits and giggles. Like, let me see who's inclined.
And they actually, it's weird. They have it listed as a super short prints. I don't know how true that is, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, again, I don't know how anybody could say that when we don't have any odds or things like that. Like we mentioned here, quad relics are in here. So like it's again, if you're trying to like hit big potentially, like we saw a picture here, I believe it was Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, Kalani Jordan, and Lola Vikes. They have a quad relic. So like in a break that I was just looking at. So like if you want an opportunity to potentially hit that, you could buy Cora Jade for $3 and potentially have that 25% chance of getting that card, because obviously they'll do a randomizer. So if you are looking to do that, I would recommend to kind of keep an eye out there for that. Other autographs here that have been confirmed: Hulk Hogan. I know we're talking about Topps Universe being potentially the last set for Hulk Hogan on card autographs. Hulk Hogan autographs are confirmed and Exalted. I haven't seen any hit yet. But again, going based off this breaker list here, Hulk Hogan autos are live and are in Topps Exalted. Other legends here that are new: Mark Henry. I saw Mark Henry auto being pulled, so I thought that was kind of interesting. So if you want to be a part of that, the Hall of Pain, he is in here as well. Like you mentioned, that you kind of nailed those NXT names as well. If you're, some other legends here, Steiner Brothers are back in here. We saw him in Topps Universe. IRS is in here as well. I haven't seen his auto in a hot. Or actually, no, he was in Universe.
I saw somebody break one on YouTube, and he was happy. That was just autograph.
uh, so
He
yeah,
was so pissed.
yeah, that love the IRS, love the IRS and the whole and the Wyndham family, but that's not their your best looking auto there. Um, who else is in here? Just kind of again, I wish I was better prepared for the big. We're again just kind of just going through it here, just trying to see um who is in here and kind of who has spots listed. Again, it's been very inconsistent, just because like some breaker channels have relics, some don't. So it's just been very difficult for us to kind of go at it here and kind of have our predictions here and kind of seeing what we're doing. Um, I know the tag team relics are obviously following Universe. I Kit Wilson and Pretty Elton Prince have their relics in here. So
Yeah.
gonna kind of keep an eye out there for that. Who else is in here that I didn't see or was very interested here? I think that's it for the most part. And I think that kind of you kind of could tell by the way this how we talked about this product here. I think this product I think if I'm being completely honest, this product should have what led off at the beginning of the year, not Universe. I think you probably should have saved off Universe, or if you could have done Universe at the end of last year. I think this product again is being hurt by it being outdated. Like you mentioned, there some of the render photos are very outdated, so that hurts it. I think if you're a wrestling card collector, unless it's like a iconic persona, like if it's like a John Cena, Dr. Dugonomics, The Rock, guys like that, Stone Cold, whoever, Triple H, guys like that. If you're into those kind of personas, obviously that makes sense here. But like, for example, Pretty Deadly, like Kit Wilson. I think a lot of new Kit Wilson collectors, they want this version of Kit Wilson, like you're toxic and whatever. Maybe not the Pretty Deadly version of Kit Wilson. Not saying there's a difference, but there are some people who just specifically want that version of Kit Wilson and want that render of Kit Wilson. So that kind of hurts that a little bit. Uh, and I think it being sandwiched in between Chrome, I think that's also going to hurt it very much. Uh, just kind of going through some of these breaks here. Again, and maybe it's because we don't have a checklist. These breaks haven't really been filling up. I feel like with Universe, those spots were flying. Like even when those spots got announced, like they were consistently just going and going. This one here, a lot of spots still left. So I think again, and you kind of hit it there. I think if you're buying into this breaks here, be very smart. Know what you like, particularly because again, like I just mentioned, Chrome is scheduled for next week. Those boxes are going to be ready, shipped, ready to go. So I just think this one here is maybe like a one and done type thing. Maybe that's even being very hesitant. Like I don't plan on buying like any CM Punk spot. If I'm being completely honest, if I was to buy somebody, it's potentially Ray Phoenix, like I just mentioned, his first on card autograph in WWE. Penta has relics in here from what we've seen from the top promos. So those would be the two that I'm kind of keeping an eye out for when it comes to breaks. Again, I know it's been a little bit difficult. I don't know if you have somebody that you're kind of keeping an eye out for as far as of this, but I think if we were going to pick, kind of throw some names here on a dartboard, I think those are two names here that I would be trying to hit, hopefully.
Yeah, I think honestly, personally, I don't think I'm gonna be in any breaks for this. Just being that it's so limited, like card wise, like there's not a lot in it. Like I said, it's one pack, 5 cards, um, 50 cards per case. Like it's just there's so much more like high risk, like low reward. You have to get really lucky, and then I don't think it helps that we don't know what the checklist is. So kind of just going in like cold turkey, not knowing what's in it. It's kind of hard to just like sit here and like buy a spot and so forth like that. So um, this honestly just might be buy singles on eBay for my favorite wrestlers, and then I'm not talking about like buying them like day one. Like it's kind of just like a let it let it phase out a little bit in a sense, because I mean we got Chrome a couple of weeks, so I don't think that helps either. Um, so yeah, this is really weird, a very weird lead time set that just kind of just throwing in between Universe and Chrome. That is kind of like it's not going to really have time to like hit with people. This kind of makes it seem like it's just like a high end like limited product where it's like, hey, if you're able to get one, good for you. That's all you're going to get, kind of thing. Um, so yeah, and for that reason, it's just kind of hard to like um justify buying multiple break spots. It's just again, it's just I don't think there's a lot of the chances of you hitting is probably very low. Honestly, I don't. I mean, again, and this is just me saying from like we have no checklist, we don't know what's out there. I'm just going based off what I see on Fanatics Live and what Breakers list. And for the very few box breaks that I've seen, like posted on YouTube or TikTok, and the few that I've seen on whatnot, um, yeah, it's just kind of just like, and it's just it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't look appealing. I don't know. I may be in the minority on this one, but I'm just like I'm not a fan of big napkin patches either. Like I don't like those
Yeah.
big blocky black and white patches that are. I mean, I know they're event used and superstar worn from what the back of the patch says, but I mean, you could probably go and look at a Panini one that probably looks the same. And you're probably going to pay like half the price just because
Yeah.
Panini says it's not like from any specific event or a superstar. But I mean, if it's just a big black shirt, like, like what make a difference? Like, I mean, does the fact that the back of the card says that it's event worn by that superstar
Bet worn.
like matter that much if it's just a black, shirt or white shirt? I don't know. So that's just me. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, no, to kind of echo everything here that you're saying, 'cause even going through like some of the relics here, I haven't really seen like a eye-popping relic
Only
here.
like
Like even
the
so,
only multicolor ones I've seen are like the little small ones. I always saw the
yeah,
white 6-1 on eBay, and I know you sent me the one between Cora, Kalani, Roxanne, and Lola. I think it was.
yeah,
Those four, like you can see a little bit of color in them. Like for everybody, it's like it's just like it's either a little circle with just a black or white T-shirt, or it's a big, big relic of a black. Like I don't know.
yeah.
It's hard to justify this. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, and from even like because I haven't seen a big the material like is what they call them. I haven't seen a like a big colorful one. It's all been black, so I don't know if that's a thing with that. May potentially again, I really don't know. We won't know until we get more releases, more breaks involved, things like that. If you guys obviously want to get in onto it early, there are breaks here already over on whatnot. People on whatnot just don't act like there's any rules on whatnot. So people would just be
It's a
people
Wild
would just
Wild
be
West.
at the wild wild west over there, over on whatnot. So if you kind of want to get your early fix, check out over on whatnot. If you want to wait for official releases, feel free to go again, check out Fanatics Live. um One thing I did fail to mention here, the superstar rivalry signatures are also in this set. We had a random Stephanie McMahon and Trish Stratus relic hit. Excuse me, not a relic, an autograph hit. That was an absolute insane card. Based on this Topps Ripped article, looks like Triple H and Shawn Michaels are going to have some, and Triple H and The Rock are also going to have some as well. So that's something you do want to keep an eye out for in that. And again, I want to keep an eye out there if you are buying breaks. So again, if you're just buying a Triple H spot, you maybe not financial advice, maybe want to consider Shawn Michaels and The Rock because you don't want to get the hit a big card like that and lose it on a 50-50 chance there. I know some breakers have been gearing or teaming up Stephanie McMahon and Trish Stratus together, so that's pretty smart. So just keep it out there. For obviously, Stephanie McMahon does not have any base cards from what I've seen. It's just that card, so something to keep an eye out there for that. Key autographs here that they do also mention here in this Top Strip article is Cena, The Rock, Triple H, Roman Reigns, Stone Cold, Cody Rhodes, The Undertaker, Tiffany Stratton, Sonny Vancouver, and Jordan Grace. And then it does say here notable additions include Mark Henry, like we just talked about, returning name Rusev and Aleister Black, and Rey Fenix with his first WWE autograph. So again, everything here is basically what we just kind of just talked about here on the Topps Exalted. These are all courtesy on the Topps Strip website. So again, if you guys want to check this out, those will be linked down in the description down below if you guys want to go check them out. If you do want to see like what exactly we just read. But yeah, I wish we had official stuff here that we can confirm and stuff like that. But again, we don't, for some reason, just do not have it. So it makes it a little bit tough for me to, and a little bit difficult for both of us to have like official stamp of approval. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think what really just hurts the set is not having the really truly confirmed. I think that hurts it for sure. And again, it being right before Topps Chrome, it's definitely going to hurt it for sure. I would not be surprised if these boxes do go drop in wax very, very fast. Again, boxes were selling for anywhere like 280 to 300 on secondary. I would expect that to drop very, very quickly and have those prices of Chrome be as high as it could be. And I don't know. Again, if you're just looking for maybe a potential inexpensive rip, again, as I predict these prices will go down, maybe you want to get yourself a box and potentially try to hit big. Who knows? But yeah, that's Exalted, everybody. Uh, I will keep an eye on it moving forward. I'm really curious to see what these singles are gonna do. Again, I don't think these singles are gonna come off hot at the gate. Um, Unless it's like a big superstar. I'm curious to see what Blake Monroe cards are gonna do. Kind of going to keep an eye out there for that. But yeah, those are gonna be some of the key takeaways here. Um, as far as that, as I say it here, they have a Bray Wyatt one on. If I'll send you the link right now. It's him and his Firefly Funhouse. That's like a cool base card. I'll send it to you. But yeah, that's Exalted preview. Everybody, again, I definitely do apologize here if this wasn't like a in thorough as far as who we're buying, who we're selling, because again, I think we're both kind of like on the fence of it. But yeah, it's just one of those sets here where it's a little bit tough, if I'm being completely honest. So once Topps Chrome does get officially announced, obviously we'll go over all that into full detail. So we'll make sure you are following the content, everybody, because again, next 2 weeks here are going to be crazy heavy with content. WrestleMania content, Topps Chrome content. We're all going to have it here. So again, just make sure you are following all the socials there. But before I officially wrap everything up here, Bro Pio, any final thoughts here for the good old listeners of collecting the 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, I don't got much. Obviously, I'm just gonna be so happy release day for Exalted. If you're buying spots or if you buy a box, the odds be in your favor, and if you don't, happy single hunting because that's what I'll be. I'll be hunting some singles. But other than that, I mean, yeah, I got not much. If you're an NXT watcher, enjoy Stand and Deliver this weekend. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a pretty good card. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I don't got much other than that.
Yeah, very limited on announcements this week here on my end. Again, kind of already talked about everything here. Make sure you are just subscribing and following for more. We're gonna have a lot of content coming out. You guys have been absolutely killing it. I've been loving all the support you've been showing the both of us. So I really do appreciate all the support that you guys have been showing. If that's subscribing on YouTube, following us over on all of our social platforms, again, links are down description down below. If it's checking out my whatnot streams, things like that, whatever you're doing to help support us. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you keep up again with the short form content. I do all of my daily uploads there, up to date. So if you guys don't want to wait for the weekly episodes, just make sure you do follow for there. And like I briefly hinted throughout the podcast episode, we are doing live streams here. We haven't gone into the live reaction yet. I kind of don't want to get into that as far as of right now. Everybody kind of does it, and so it's kind of granted I get to sit here and watch it, but everybody kind of does it, and I'm not like a real like reactionary clip it, post it really quickly. I don't want my content to be that. So it'll just be more of like a type thing where if I'm just watching it and want to have you guys want to come and say hi, you guys can do that. I'll kind of just be more of like kind of talking card sales, talking hobby stuff. Maybe I'll go back and watch some old stuff potentially, but that's kind of the idea that we have so far that we have with that. So again, make sure you are just keeping an eye out. Right now, we're just only going live on YouTube. I could do on
let's
Twitch.
go back. Let's go back and watch WrestleMania 1 to see how that.
Oh my god!
I guess it's flowing.
So yeah, that was the idea that I had. I was like, as I get ready to head out to Mania, watch some old Manias here, watch the Firefly Funhouse match, watch some WrestleMania 2021s, go back and watch all those here. So yeah, that's the idea. WrestleMania 13, 17, 20, again, watch all those. Maybe not the whole card, maybe the whole card.
Just finished watching 18. Yeah.
Good one. That's a go-to one. Yeah, maybe we'll do that for the pod. Maybe we'll talk about our top 5, top 10 WrestleMania matches potentially, or top WrestleMania card. That'd be tough. There's 42 of them to go through them. But maybe that would be something here that we can cook up here on the pod. Hell, maybe we can do it here on the pod. Maybe just watch a random ass match. That'd be kind of cool. Posted there for bonus content. So you never know.
There's a make a wheel, do WrestleMania 1 through 42.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
1 through 41.
41, yeah.
Do a little.
Not a bad idea. We could do that. But yeah, keep an eye out there for all the content, guys. Obviously, you can see we're always just kind of thinking of new things and kind of just throwing things here. And if we like it, we obviously we do it. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for us. Again, thank you for listening and watching, and make sure you do subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're an audio listener, don't like seeing our faces, you're just listening to our voices. Make sure you are following and rating on Spotify and Apple or wherever you get your podcast. And make sure you leave a comment because that does help push us out and just shows how we are doing as a podcast. So I really do appreciate it there. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for me. Again, thank you for listening, watching, and we will See y'all in the next one.